Gloria was never loud, never messy, never a problem. She was the kind of child who read books in corners, who sewed little dresses for dolls while the other kids were out riding bikes. She didn't sparkle. She didn't demand attention. And in her family, that meant she was invisible. Her mother, Karen, adored Gloria's younger sister, Sabrina. "She's just like me," Karen would say proudly, placing a hand on Sabrina's shoulder, as if Gloria wasn't even in the room. At every family gathering, every photo, every casual moment, Sabrina was the star. Gloria was the backdrop. But Gloria didn't complain. Not because it didn't hurt, but because deep down she thought maybe they were right. It was a sunny Saturday morning. Gloria was 10. She had spent all morning carefully arranging strawberries and orange slices onto a silver tray. It was brunch day. Karen's bridge group was coming over. Gloria wanted to help. She wanted to belong. She walked into the living room holding the fruit tray with both hands, her dress neat, her hair brushed, her eyes quietly searching for her mother's approval. Karen glanced up briefly. Then she waved her hand quickly, like swatting away a fly. "Not now, Gloria. Go upstairs." Gloria froze, then slowly backed out of the room, fruit trays still in hand. Later, when she asked why, Karen simply said, "You're just hard to explain. They wouldn't get you. You wouldn't enjoy the chatter anyway." That day, Gloria learned something that never left her. Sometimes the first rejection doesn't come with shouting. It comes in silence, in the eyes that don't look back at you. Sabrina never had to struggle. When she quit her third job in a year, Karen didn't ask why. She just sighed and said, "It wasn't a good fit. The manager probably felt threatened." 2 weeks later, Sabrina had a new dress, a salon appointment, and a new plan that would, until it didn't. Meanwhile, Gloria was living in a tiny apartment with peeling walls. She worked double shifts, paid her own rent, fixed her own car with YouTube tutorials and scraped knuckles. No one ever asked, "Are you doing okay?" No one ever said, "We're proud of you." Because in her family, if you weren't falling apart, they assumed you didn't need anything. But Gloria was tired. Not just of doing everything alone, but of pretending it didn't hurt. It was just a math test. A perfect score, 100 out of 100. Gloria laid it gently on the kitchen counter, not expecting much. Just a moment, a glance, maybe a small smile. Karen barely looked at it. She laughed under her breath. "No one puts test papers on the fridge after middle school, Gloria. It's not cute anymore." But Robert didn't say a word. He picked up the paper, walked to the fridge, and pressed it under a magnet right next to the grocery list. He didn't make a speech. He didn't pat her on the head. He just stood there beside her, like it was the most natural thing in the world, like it mattered. That was their bond, unspoken, quiet, but real. He never said, "You're my favorite," but in those tiny moments, he didn't have to. It was just 4 inches, a tiny step off the back porch. The kind of thing you wouldn't even notice until it changes everything. Robert's heel caught the edge. He fell sideways, hard. The x-rays showed a broken hip. Nothing simple, nothing clean. Surgery came fast. Recovery came slow, too slow. At first, he used a walker, then a cane, then the wheelchair. And with every new adjustment, Karen stepped back a little more. She didn't complain, not out loud. She just stopped being there. Less cooking, fewer questions. No more morning coffee together. The man who used to hold the family together was now sitting still in silence. And the silence, it was deafening. "He just sits there," Karen said it flatly, flipping through a magazine, like she was commenting on a dull TV show. Sabrina nodded, not even looking up. "It's depressing. He doesn't even talk much anymore." They didn't know Gloria was standing behind them, frozen, 1 foot still in the hallway, her hands clenched, her chest tight. Her father was in the next room. He could hear them too, but he said nothing. Karen kept flipping pages. Sabrina sipped her soda. And the weight of a man's entire life was reduced to a sentence. He just sits there. No one asked what it meant for a man who built machines with his hands to no longer be able to rise from a chair. No one wondered how it must feel to be invisible in your own house. Except Gloria. She didn't say a word, but she stayed. And that's what made all the difference. The first sign wasn't loud. It came in the mailbox. Or rather, it didn't. For years, Gloria helped her dad sort his bank statements every second Tuesday of the month, like clockwork. But then, nothing. She waited a week, then another. Finally, she asked Karen casually, carefully, "Hey, have the statements been coming here instead?" Karen didn't even look up from her tablet. "Oh, we switched to digital, less clutter." Her voice was breezy, too breezy. Something inside Gloria tensed. Dad never liked online banking. He didn't trust passwords or screens. So who made the switch? Later that night, Gloria tried to log into the account. It had been years, but she still remembered the credentials. Access denied. She tried again. Denied. That's when she knew something was being kept from her. And worse, someone had taken control. It happened quietly. No meeting, no conversation, no warning. Just one evening, Gloria overheard Karen on the phone. "Just bill the deposit to the main account. We've got power of attorney now." Her stomach dropped. What? Later that night, Gloria asked, her voice calm but sharp, "Since when do you have power of attorney over Dad?" Karen didn't flinch. 2 months ago. We needed it. Medical decisions, legal stuff." "Why didn't you tell me?" Karen shrugged. "We didn't want drama." "Drama?" Gloria said, barely holding her voice steady. "I'm the one taking care of him." Sabrina walked in holding a smoothie. "Exactly. You're great at this stuff. We figured you'd keep doing it anyway." They smiled like it was no big deal. But to Gloria, it was everything. They had taken the title, the authority, the financial keys, and left her with the feeding schedules, the meds, the bathing, and the silence. She wasn't their partner. She was their unpaid nurse. The doctor didn't close the door. He didn't need to. The hallway was quiet. Too quiet. He looked at Gloria, then at the chart in his hands. His words came slow, measured. "It's stage 4 pancreatic cancer. We're not talking about years. We're talking about months." Gloria didn't cry, didn't speak. She just nodded once. When she walked back into the waiting room, her father looked up, his eyes searching her face. She didn't need to say a word. He reached out and held her hand. That night, Gloria opened her laptop and typed a short email to her boss. Subject, resignation. Effective immediately. She didn't explain, didn't give 2 weeks. She just let go. The next morning, Karen didn't notice. Sabrina said, "Wow, that's a choice." No one asked why. No one asked how she felt. And so, once again, Gloria carried the weight alone. It was just a drawer in the den, nothing special, just papers, pens, a broken stapler. But beneath the clutter, Gloria found an envelope. Her name was on it, written in her father's shaky but careful handwriting. She opened it, and everything changed. Inside was a letter. "Gloria, if you're reading this, it means I probably don't have the strength left to say it out loud. I want you to have what I've been able to gather. It's not everything, but it's something that matters. Take care of yourself first. You've done more than enough for me. Love, always Dad." Behind the letter, a signed rental agreement, a deposit slip, a receipt from a small wedding venue tucked behind a grove of oak trees. Gloria recognized it. She and her dad had once driven past it on the way to the clinic. He had pointed and said, "That's a nice place, quiet, peaceful." She had smiled, but she never imagined he was planning for her. All while she was feeding him, lifting him, holding him upright, he was building her a future. He never told Karen. Never told Sabrina. Only her. And in that moment, Gloria realized she wasn't forgotten. She was the only one truly seen. The house was still full of silence. Robert's scent still lingered, black coffee and soap. Gloria hadn't even changed out of her funeral dress when she found them in the living room, Karen and Sabrina, wine glasses in hand, as if nothing had happened. Karen didn't waste time. "We need to talk." Gloria stood in the entryway, still holding her purse. Still carrying her grief, Sabrina pulled out a folder. This is a waiver. It just says you agree not to contest anything in the estate. It's a formality. Gloria looked down at the paper. Didn't move. Karen leaned forward. We have the power of attorney, Gloria. We've spoken to the attorney. We're inheriting the house and what's left in the accounts. Sabrina added, You don't live here anymore, right? You're getting married. You've got your own life. They smiled. As if they hadn't just buried the man Gloria sacrificed everything for. She could have screamed, demanded justice, thrown the folder across the room. Instead, she picked up the pen and signed. No one said thank you. No one even blinked. Karen stood. You'll need to be out in 10 days. We've already contacted a realtor. Gloria nodded, just once, then turned away and began to pack. 3 days after Gloria left the house, her phone rang. It was a familiar number. The house. The house that no longer belonged to her. She hesitated, then answered. Karen's voice was sharp, panicked, angry. Where is it? Gloria paused. Where's what? The money, Gloria, from your father's account. It's empty, all of it. Gloria's voice stayed calm. You had power of attorney. I wasn't even allowed near it. Karen didn't respond right away. In the background, Sabrina's voice snapped. Ask her again. She took it. She had to. Karen came back on the line. This is serious. That money, we were counting on it. I already paid for the cruise. Sabrina quit her job. We made plans. Gloria closed her eyes. You never checked the balance, did you? You just assumed it was sitting there, untouched. Karen's voice cracked. There were thousands in that account. We were going to use it for repairs, for the house. Gloria answered quietly. There was no house left to repair. She told them about the rental deposit, the venue, the letter. The future their father had quietly prepared for her. He made the choice, Gloria said, because I was there. Silence. Then Sabrina's voice, smaller now. So that's it? That's the inheritance? Yes, Gloria replied. Peace, a beginning, not for you, for me. Gloria didn't take much when she left. Just a suitcase, her father's framed photo, a few of his notebooks, and the letter. That was it. No furniture, no silverware, no fight. The house she left behind didn't feel like home anymore. It hadn't for a long time. Karen and Sabrina stayed at first, but things began to unravel quickly. The cruise couldn't be refunded. Karen had paid in full, convinced the estate money would come pouring in. It never did. Sabrina's jobless streak caught up to her. Friends stopped lending money. No more dinners, no more vacation photos. Then came the house repairs. Leaky pipes, cracked foundation, mold in the walls. They couldn't afford it, not without the money they thought they were promised. So they sold it. Fast, quiet, cheap. Moved into a condo. No yard, no porch light, just a smaller life. And Gloria, she didn't respond to their messages. She didn't need to, because for the first time in her life, she didn't owe anyone an explanation. The wedding was small, no big stage, no dramatic vows, just sunlight, a breeze through the trees, and not a single empty chair. Michael stood beside her, steady and kind, the kind of man who didn't flinch at long nights or quiet grief. They were married at the same venue her father had once pointed to. That's a nice place, he had said, peaceful. And it was. Gloria wore a simple dress, no veil, no tiara, but she glowed. Inside their new apartment by the front door hung a wooden frame. Inside it, the letter. Her father's words still soft but unshakable. Take care of yourself first. You've done more than enough for me. She paused in front of it sometimes, on her way out, coming home late, just for a moment. Not for grief, not for sadness, but for peace. Because in the end, some people inherit houses, others inherit silence, and some inherit something rarer, the quiet confirmation that they were right all along. You don't need to be loud to be worthy. Sometimes the quiet ones, the ones who keep showing up, who love in silence, who never ask for credit, are the very reason everything held together. But even the strongest hearts need to be seen. So if you've ever cared for others while no one noticed, if you've ever been the one cleaning the mess, carrying the weight, holding back tears in a quiet room, then hear this. You matter. You always have. And you never needed anyone's permission to begin living for yourself. If this story touched something in your heart, if you saw a piece of your soul in Gloria's quiet strength, then don't just scroll away. Subscribe to Pieces of Soul, where every untold story finds a voice and where people like you are finally seen. We tell stories not just to remember pain, but to remind you you were never invisible.